Okay, piggity pop. Looks like we're good. We're good to go. Amanda can scoot in a little bit. Julie can scoot in just a skosh. All right.
Amanda.
Great. Yes, I'd like to remind everybody to turn down your phones.
One day, I'll remember to do that.
That'll be good. Okay, so we are live just a little bit early. This is our newest stratagem for starting right at 8 o'clock and allowing the wonderful people at Fill in the Company Name to provide commercial interruption for us at the beginning of the show. Because as we all know, commerce is extremely important to a thriving economy. So, welcome to Arragas, City of Dreams. I am Sean Dixon, the Bearded Foe. With me, as always, are my intrepid band of heroes who make this show everything that it is. Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had a great Christmas and or otherwise holiday break. I know that Santa skipped my house this year because of certain legal obligations regarding a naughty list. But I made do. I found ways to make Christmas bend to my will.
Turn your coal into a diamond.
I did. I did. So, anyways, welcome everyone. It is a cold and rainy day in Arragas today. It's not sunny Arragas. Cold and rainy is about as close to winter as it gets here in Arragas proper. Although I may narratively change my mind during actual gameplay. So, but here in Arragas where we all live, it's been a cold and rainy day, raining all day. As a matter of fact, the weather people promised us a little bit of a let up, and they did not deliver, much like Santa Claus. I am not bitter.
Santa came to my house.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure Santa visited many of the good folk. In and around Arragas Metro. So I just did not happen to be on that list.
Exit out of the app and then go back in.
Okay. Okay, great. We're not having difficulty. Is it?
No, we're good.
Difficulty
Yeah.
on that end?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's just a silly thing that happens with the app.
okay, great. So for those of you who don't know, we have secretly slipped some of our own people into the chat. In order to monitor the show from both sides, because we have discovered that in fact the dashboard that we see does not show us everything, and sometimes the best way to see is to actually watch the show from a phone. Okay, so to recap, because I know everyone has gone through the holiday emotional roller coaster. Last episode, our intrepid heroes managed to finally catch up to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Last episode we had what I call a flash sideways. It wasn't a flash forward. It wasn't a flash back. So some stuff happened out at Fort Murdo. For those of you watching. There's some impending doom coming through the woods.
Doom.
The characters tonight, however, we are catching back up with our band of intrepid heroes, and they are as of yet blissfully unaware of what is going on at Fort Murdo. So 2 episodes ago, they had managed to catch up with Olivier and have let's say detained him. They questioned him with mixed results. I think they were expecting different answers out of him, especially with the magical aid of effectively a truth serum. But I'm not sure that the answers he gave necessarily changed their minds about much. They have detained him, and their plan. And correct me if I'm wrong, heroes. The plan is to deliver Olivier to his after Bachelor Party that they are hoping will carry him well past altar time. And in the meantime, they are going to attempt to crash the wedding ceremony, recover Violetta for their quasi-employer, Adel Castellani. Violetta is his daughter. And get her back safely home and away from the Renauds and Olivier's version of love. Okay. Am I wrong? Was that our plan?
With the caveat that I'm going to try to get, since I am not quite allowed at nobility or functions around such, which is why I disguise myself most times, I'm going to try and get Olivier to make us up some invitations and possibly get Pippi a gig in my stead. So,
At the wedding?
yes.
Does she have a left at the altar ballad ready?
Oh, yes.
I don't think you're going to get a lot of good referrals out of
Yes.
this.
I
Or maybe even
think
paid.
you'd be surprised.
No, I may be surprised.
It's going to
that
be
is
a hell of a
actually true.
performance. There's
I may be
a new
surprised.
song.
All
I
right.
wrote, so it's called Marriage Schmarriage.
Marriage, schmarriage. Marriage, schmarriage. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so the first things first, Macaria discovered after her first run-in with Olivier and his entourage that she was missing one of her rapiers. She thought that getting to Olivier and questioning him would reveal the whereabouts of her rapier. And unfortunately, even under the effects of the Zone of Truth, his answer to her was that he did not know where her other sword went to. I think Macaria was a little flustered at this. And
But I
sort
found
of,
a note.
That's right. But she did, in fact, find a note in one of her many leather pockets. And the note said what? Do you remember what it said, Macaria?
I don't.
I mean, how hard
you-
can this be
it's-
to find? Like, just find the street scamp that's like dragging this heavy.
Oh no.
No,
I know
the
who it
note
was.
said. Yeah, the note
Oh.
said you fought well. Meet me at Epsilon, and it was signed Jenner, which was the name of. I think you probably also remember.
Yeah, the
Aristar,
bodyguard guy.
the bodyguard guy who started to fight with Macaria, but then became very upset when Olivier had his other guards also punch on Macaria. You don't remember what he actually did, but he was not with Olivier at the Rusty Bucket. Once you guys had dispatched the rest of his entourage, you guys realized, oh wait, that Jenner guy is not here. And he has left a note with you telling you that if you want your rapier back, that you need to meet him at Epsilon, which you have no idea what that is, but I'm sure if you hunted around, you would be able to discover.
Were there some like greasy lip marks on it? Like,
No, it was a very like we had a moment with our in the fights where it was like this respect of like, oh, another like this will be a chat, like this will be fun
Right.
kind of thing. So I'm over here like, Jenner, you beautiful bastard.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, what a
won't
great
break.
moment we shared together.
Yeah, yeah.
Glad I was there to get the shit kicked out.
Oh, the brave beating that you took. The brave beating you guys admit.
Let's just say that having your teeth knocked loose inside your skull and then subsequently knitted back together with healing magic is an uncomfortable experience.
Agreed. Yes, the dark side of healing magic. It doesn't take away the initial pain of the wound. It just heals you back up so you can take another. Not a lot of people talk about
Wait,
that, but
so do you magically regrow teeth? Wouldn't that be like the most painful experience ever?
there
I
You're
assume
like
you-
teething all
don't.
over.
there are specific higher level spells that specify that they regenerate lost body parts. So I think if a tooth gets knocked out, the lower level curative magic will just sort of
push it back in if it's dead.
well, if it's there, yeah, it'll push it back in.
I don't
But
know if
Half
there's
a
anything that
bicuspid damage.
specifies, but Maybe
It's
it's
gotta-
well,
restoration.
gotta be-
I think
dead.
I think greater restoration, and I think
Greater
there's a couple other
restoration's
ones
for,
that
like,
specifically says
persons.
you heal back, like any lost limbs or grow back and that kind of
If
stuff.
you have anything still attached, like just the tiniest piece of
Okay,
skin,
yeah, if
still
it's hanging
dangling,
by a thread,
yeah,
if it's hanging by a
So don't
sticky-
eat corn, Arister.
Yeah.
That's the lesson here.
otherwise
You run off to
No
do it.
winning.
Don't pull it, don't pull it, don't pull it.
Right. Yeah, no
have
caramel.
nice firm gums.
That's right. Okay,
God
so
breaks those gingivitis.
so what we need to do,
All
I believe, you guys were going to take Olivier to Winky Pink Bottom.
Yeah, I believe that was the case.
And his place in order to.
I'm gonna wait outside because I don't actually want to see and or talk.
I will escort Olivier to Winky, since I haven't knocked his head off.
Ooh.
Okay.
So many
And-
times.
And
It's a level
I'll
7 spell.
kind of schmooze up. I'll do the business
Yeah, it
manager.
generates high dollar business.
Talk with Olivier, see if I can make his wedding the most memorable occasion of the. What season is this?
Oh, hi, Keith.
It's the rainy monsoon.
the
season.
corn bluebell moon, whatever we're doing.
Oh no! You guys are in the Butter Moon.
Ah, the butter moon. It'll be the most
This is
spectacular event
this
of
is
the butter
the
moon.
5th Ara day of the Butter Moon. The ceremony, the wedding ceremony, is tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
Of the Butter Moon. So Butter Moon is late spring.
It'll be the bestest butter moon ever.
Late spring in the Butter Moon. Okay, so all right, so you guys travel for a little ways. You don't remember the name of Winky's place in Arragas, but after
He's
a
a
little bit
registered
of-
guild guy.
He is
We can
re-
go-
he is-
we can go look up his address.
He is part of a He is a official now. He has a guild charter.
Go look him up in the registry.
Yeah, that's better than the registry. I thought he was.
Is it still the same height?
Probably was.
Yeah, you guys are getting
I don't know if they
into.
have that, but
So you had caught up
definitely-
with
If they do,
Olivier
he's
in the evening
Five
of
times over.
our day, so it's nighttime now.
Okay.
You guys took him to an abandoned building, a neglected building, and or actually you didn't. You couldn't find one. You guys went to an alley. You guys took him to an alleyway.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Apple
man,
Crate.
what a day.
We're at Apple Crate Alley.
Cast the zone of truth,
Just 5-1
which some of
straight
you
row.
slept off. Amazingly enough, I'm barely a save at all.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we're supposed to be telling the truth anymore. Okay.
Some of us don't need magical compulsion to tell the
Yeah,
truth.
some people just tell the truth, and some
people just tell
people
the truth.
have read the word truth and have figured it out from context clues, but it really wasn't for them.
I'm the embodiment of truth.
Okay. All right. So you guys find out you travel for a little ways. So he's actually pretty far away from the docks. He's in a different area of Arragas. It's also pretty low. Well, I would say mid security, about security level 5 or so. Now, of course, he's obviously not in the ritzy ritz areas of town, and he's not anywhere near the boneyard because people don't like that sort of thing. But you do find his establishment. The sign above the door is at first it looks like almost like a bowl of spaghetti or something like that. But then when you get closer, you realize that it is a round bed that is covered in a tangled mass of legs and arms.
That sounds horrific.
All sort
I
of
thought you were gonna say tentacles, so that's better.
clinging and grasping. And
So we're
there's-
not going to Pasta Warehouse?
There's no.
What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
What kind of bachelor party is
What
this?
kind of bachelor party is this? Yeah. You get Olivier there, and who's going inside? So Arister's going to stay outside. Just Vesper.
I'm headed for my rapier.
No, I'm just
Oh,
gonna.
Macaria, you're not going with them. You're
I'll
going
have
to
my
go.
arm
You're going to try to
around.
find Epsilon.
I think they've got it
yeah.
covered.
Okay.
I was gonna
Well-
ask you, did you find your rapier? No? I can help you.
I know where it is.
Oh, okay.
I trust this. Well, I don't know where it is. I need to find Epsilon.
Well, I was
So if
gonna
you
say
wanna help
I
me
could
find
just
that place.
cast locate object on your rapier.
That's true. Let's do that. Yeah.
That
If you want
sounds
some
great.
help.
That sounds like a
Makes
Okay.
things expedient.
So Liliana and Makaria are going to go hunt down the lost rapier.
Sure.
Right. So Kethra, Arister, and Vesper are headed to Winky's place.
Right.
Kethra, are you going into this establishment?
No. How old are you?
I was gonna go in. You're not
She's
my
old.
dad.
She's old enough to serve in the mill pole. She's old enough to go into any building she wants.
I would like to tell Arister, if
She's
he's
a
staying
priestess.
outside, if Olivier comes out by himself, just have at him.
All right.
If he comes out and there's not either me or Makaria there, or
Kethra.
Kethra.
Wow. How long have we been
I'm not
adventuring
sure she should
together?
be allowed to see.
You know, all you 16-year-old girls.
I'm like
Makaria is
34.
34.
No,
No,
I think
Victoria's
I
not
don't know.
16.
Makaria-
Julie and I are like 16, although
Yeah.
Julie's not 16 either, but...
I
thought
that's
that was
your
your
sister.
I'm
See?
16.
Look how
we
many
actually look
compliment-
much different. Like humans age so fast. Here.
Elves have
like
face blindness.
10 years, you're like,
For
that's
humans.
your grandma.
Yes.
I don't think anybody can know
They all look the same.
And see, the thing is
No lie.
with Vesper,
No matter how old
color.
you get or whatever.
with Vesper, I'm not sure it's racism so much as just classism, just raw.
Yeah.
Like all of you poor
We are from the working class together.
to me.
You dirty faced hooter.
Even though you
That's
have like
right.
flaming red hair, and I
Yeah.
have black hair.
And yeah, hers
I
is
feel
like
like
jet black. Kethra's
that would
hair
be
is like
a
very dark
distinction.
brown.
Yeah, I'm sure
And
humans
Why do you think
find
they wear
that
such bright
distinctive.
colors? Yeah.
plus, Makaria has a scar that starts on her neck and goes down across her chest and into places that are normally covered with clothing that she
And
does
then
not
also on my face.
make an attempt.
Remember, I have
Is
the
it on
one-
your face too?
I have one on my face, and then I have one.
So you got like a
across.
milky, screwed up eye that never looks straight, and
No, it's like
your
right-
nose is like clipped open.
My
so people can
eye
see into
isn't
your
cut
head.
open.
Yes.
I have a scar that goes down, like I was cut.
I see,
like
so it's a
that.
cool-
It just
Okay.
makes her
Anime
face more
star.
handsome.
So
That's how it would happen. I wasn't stabbed in the eye; it went down.
all right. So can
There's a ridge
humans?
where your eyebrow is.
Can
Thank
humans?
God for magical healing,
Oh my
right?
god.
Yeah, they got.
Anyways,
When you feel your eyeball
If,
suck back into your skull, you're
Yeah.
really thankful for
Y'all,
like,
that.
oh, thank
if,
you.
if Ornitholus ever gets back to me, I'll ask him to like fix your tooth. And maybe your scar. And he
Okay,
can cast
I
that
had the
crazy
scar.
spell, I can't.
my scars.
So
Yeah. Okay.
can
Alright.
human females above the age of 16 not have scars or below the age of 16? I don't understand.
There's no- this is
We're
a
just
discussion
very
they're probably having.
All
Alright. In answer to your question, Kethra is old enough to make her own decisions.
Yeah,
she
she
has,
is.
she has sworn to do vows.
It wasn't my question.
She-
I don't.
She is.
She's
No,
old enough
you
to
can
join
make your
the
own
church,
decisions,
so
but-
she's old enough
Arister's
to
objection
drink
was
a beer.
because she was a priest of Ara, not because she was 16.
And because
Or-
16, he made both.
Oh, did he?
I would
Oh,
say, I've considered both.
She's a bit of a young thing.
I know
Uh,
enough 16-year-olds in my
Kethra,
time to know that they
I'm
may
going
make
in.
poor
roll a
decisions,
die 10 for me.
despite their legal ability
see-
to do so.
I just don't trust her around brooms. I don't know about prostitutes.
I got a 2.
That's 2. Okay, so in Kethra's quest to become more mature and older, she has eaten 2 fewer tater tots this week than last week. She
And
is-
2 less chicken nuggets.
She
I
is
thought you
And-
were going away. I thought you were
and
going to say she's hired 2
I had
prostitutes.
regular chicken nuggets
In the
instead of
course
the
of her
dino
time.
chicken
No.
nuggets.
No,
Thank
she's
you very
she's
much.
moving away. She's beginning to experience adult food,
Yeah.
which you are what you eat, so adult food makes sense. Okay.
Excellent.
We still should have went to Pasta Warehouse.
Okay, so Kethra,
It's going in.
Olivier, and Vesper
Kethra
walk
was-
into
Yeah.
this building.
Okay.
Immediately, you are confronted by a large human bouncer who is wearing a cod piece only that looks like some sort of a fish with wings or maybe huge whiskers coming
So
out
like
of the
a
face.
cod piece.
Wah, wah, wah.
You heard it here first. Okay.
Peace.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, so he's standing there. It's sort of it's like a emerald black leather sort of a it just barely covers his butt, and then the cod piece looks like a fish head with either like 2 huge fins, or maybe they're wings, or maybe there's whiskers shooting out.
Right. I'm not sure I noticed that much detail because I'm essentially
Not.
hello, good sir. How are you?
Yeah. Are you visibly like covering your like you don't want to see anything below your nose?
I mean, depends how much gyration I see.
Okay.
Below
Well, in the rest of the
Curse this
waiting
attention
area,
to detail I have.
yeah, in the rest of the waiting area, there are roughly 5 other gentlemen that are dressed exactly the same. Some of them are wearing animal masks, but other than that, they're large, muscly, varying skin tones, covered in some sort of an oil or secretion.
I peek in, see the animal mask, and go, "Oh, that's not right."
This is probably going to spur. Yeah, let's go to the jury.
It's for that
Those animals aren't real. I see real animals, and that ain't it.
It's for the druid patrons, of course.
No,
Right.
it's not.
As you step
druid
in
patrons
a
know
little
where to get real
closer,
animals.
Oh, God.
the bouncer at the door welcomes you and bids you enter into the waiting area where all of your desires will be catered to. When you guys get in there, you see that there are there's a plethora of alcohol. There's a whole bunch of sort of pillows and lounging chairs, and nothing really proper, like nothing to sit up on. It's almost like a huge throw pillow pit with just
I put on my gloves.
all manner of people. Your outer gloves? Are your
whatever
I thought your
can-
inner gloves were always on unless you're eating or whatever.
I just feel like I don't want to touch anything in here, or drink, or eat. But, Olivier, it's your bachelor party.
Yeah, Olivier kind of blinks a couple times, and then when he sees what's going on in there, he's like, oh, "All right, yeah, like this is what I'm talking about. Why didn't I know about this place?"
Right?
The exception to the furniture rule is that in the opposite end of the room, there is a throne that appears to be carved out of wood, and maybe there's a little like precious metal sort of accents on there. And the throne itself appears to be 2 or 3 people who are engaged in some sort of a dance or some sort of a carnal interlocking, and they've just been carved in such a way that you can sit on 2 of the 3 people's lap as a sort of a throne.
Right.
And there you see Winky Pinkbottom. He's lounging. He's eating grapes. He shouts at you across the dimly lit room, right? Because the room in here has just got a bunch of sort of candles that are filtered through little colored panes of glass. So there's some red flickering light and some blue flickering light and some green flickering light.
Okay, quick question
and
though.
he says,
In order to know what my character is doing,
"Uh-huh."
I need to know, what does it smell like in here?
Oh,
Like,
God.
what is the smell?
So
Like,
Body
Terrible
spray and
question.
glitter.
Flesh.
like
I was-
I mean, is it like a
Yeah.
fleshy, incensey smell, or is it like
so
Earthy.
a earthy bathroom type? Like, what is the smell?
well,
Sweat.
okay. So there are a lot of perfumes going on.
Okay, yeah.
That thinly disguise kind of a musky scent that you haven't really experienced before. It's reminiscent
Human
of
musk.
it's reminiscent of not bathing in a while, and also sort of a
You know how Tyler Durden
Like a fruit.
explains the first Fight Club he goes to, where there's like blood or Jack, right? Yeah, that with perfume.
It's what? Give me a chance, jeez.
Sorry,
I would say that it smells like.
the cat was wondering.
Well, it smells like when you were younger. There were a few times when your parents' room smelled kind of like this, but you didn't really
You don't have
stick
to
around
describe anymore, Sean.
long enough to really care, because your parents' room was really boring. There's just a whole bunch of books in there, and then like these weird sort of end pieces. Anyway,
The fourth fold on Ogda the Bog, which...
yeah, no. This place
not
smells
like
better
that.
than Ogda. Yeah,
Okay.
no, Ogda smells like a rotting, watermelon rinds and the
No more descriptions needed.
yeah. Okay.
Got it.
There are also
Wonderful.
lots of sounds coming from everywhere that are sort of a mixture of surprise and like giddiness, as far as a 16-year-old is concerned.
Okay.
Okay.
So sheltered 60.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, I've heard those sounds
Right.
right. 16, but yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, it's like people saying like ooh and ah, but
I think she knows
It's
what
more
that
like-
is, but yeah.
ooh and ah.
Right.
Right. It's subtle, but it's there.
Or the-
Anyway, Winky sees the three of you enter, and he shouts out, "Welcome to Carnopolis! Step
Winky!
forward." And he kind of squints at you when you say his name, and he's like, "Do I know you?"
Of course! It's Vesper from Watanga Mining Complex.
Oh, yeah.
We've met before.
Yeah, he immediately sits up and he looks around and he's like, "Is Arista with you?"
No.
Oh, thank God.
He
He
sounds
is,
fine.
Do you
he
think
is not
he would-
allowed in my heaven on earth, my little slice of paradise.
Do you think he would walk through those doors?
I would hope not. If he did, my bouncers would make short work of him.
If your hat's still on, then he's not there.
He's actually not wearing his hat. He's wearing a laurel
Ah,
around his head,
all right.
and he's wearing a sort of a robe that doesn't fully cover both of his nipples.
Of course not.
Anyway, he seems very.
I'm just
We're not there.
imagining Caligula.
I
You
know.
can feel it through the walls.
I can
Well-
get a spider sense for this sort of stuff.
But what might I do? What might I do for my friends from Watanga Mining Complex? As I recall, you had not much need of my. Ooh, is Babbo Three Fingers with you? That guy is a big spender.
Oh, unfortunately, Babbo has been indisposed.
Oh, that's too bad.
tonight,
Too bad.
But I do have a certain VIP for you, a gentleman named Olivier, who is within my company.
Oh,
and
hello,
it is
Olivier.
His bachelor party.
Ooh, and you hear a bunch of women and a couple of the men. Oh, all right. Congratulations, young master.
Oh yeah. So
And he says, "Excellent, most excellent. I am honored that you would bring him to my place for one last night of revelry."
Well, I was going to speak to you a little bit in private about that because
Oh.
I want to make sure
He says,
he has a good time.
"My favorite conversations are always the secret kind. I have a room. Is it just you and me, or will others be joining us?"
Oh, well, I
Just to
believe
talk.
kid-
Just to talk. I'm not into peer pressure.
If it's as interesting as this room,
Cutthroat's
then
really
let's-
confused. She thinks that maybe Vesper's trying to do something, but doesn't really
Let's-
understand.
Don't leave me alone, man. Anyways, we shall have a conference.
He claps his hands, and a couple of strapping young men wearing actual straps instead of clothing come over to Kethra and offer her something to drink and some cheeses and salted meat.
I'd like a very big beer, please.
They have that, if you would follow them to the bar. And at the same time, several strapping young women come over to Olivier and offer him the same thing. And Winky hops down off of his
Flesh throne.
real doll throne and totters over to you. You had forgotten how short he was. Without the top hat, you can really see it. Like he's short for a human. He really is. And he
keeping my eyes
takes
on
he
Olivia.
takes your arm into his arm, and he says, "Before we get too far, I should say that I caught a little bit of Pippi's show, and you were right. She has an amazing voice.
Exactly.
Please, as one entertainer to another, please extend my congratulations to her on her talent and skills."
Thank you. It's really quite remarkable, I must say. But I guess we should discuss a bit of business.
Sure. Let us. Does it need to be? How private are we talking? People can't hear us, or people can't see us.
I would just like to make arrangements for our groom in waiting.
I see. The
make
most
sure he has the
unpleasant
best time.
discussion of money.
Well, yes, that's why I'm handling it. I'll let him have a good time.
I see. As businessmen, we understand that a necessary evil must be taken care of.
Right.
So what is it that you want?
His wedding is in about a week, and I think he should have the best week of his life before.
His eyes get super. Winky's eyes get super big, and he says, "I have exactly the program. I've only tried it on one other client, and he was extremely satisfied.
Oh,
Extremely
excellent!
satisfied. I should say, it is a bit costly, though. I mean, are we looking for the silver package or the gold package?
If you could ensure me that he would not see the light of day for the next week, we could go platinum package.
Do we have that much money?
I don't think
He does.
I don't think that he will want to see the light of day with all the pleasures I have lined up for him.
Well,
I'd stake my reputation on that.
check his heart rate from time to time, if you would.
He kind of peeks out. He looks young. I think he could handle most of it.
All right.
We do give him a list of safe words. Depending on the scenario that he is engaged in, the safe word changes. You see,
Could we make them difficult to pronounce?
not difficult to pronounce, but they're easy to
A
forget.
few elven words I could recommend.
Certainly, if you want to customize, I mean,
Flippus Garrisburg?
Yes, Flippus Garrisburg. I'm sorry, my Elvish is terribly rusty. Does that have significance to Olivier?
It's something you say when you're trapped under a log. Heavy things.
Heavy. Heavy things. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Flippus Skirgen. What was the word?
Flippus Garrisburg.
Thank you. All right. I'll have somebody write it down. Certainly. Okay.
I'll coach Olivier. You don't have to worry about him.
Oh, great. Okay. So what does the bride to be look like? We like to encourage a little role play, and there are some scenarios where we have him pick out the true Mrs. Olivier to be from about 40.
Oh, okay. She's about 4'8". Chromatic blonde hair with a curl in the bangs.
Okay, that's easy.
And
Did you say she was
a very large nose.
corpulent?
And what? I'm sorry. Someone from the audience was using his safe word, which is corpulent. It's one of the standards.
And a very large nose.
And a very large nose. I'm going to have to get him really drunk because our prosthetics are not good. Our nose prosthetics, frankly, I'm going to just be honest, are not incredible.
Oh, all right. Well, medium nose then.
Okay, it was medium to large. Okay, I'll make do.
It could be.
I have some great. I just got in a shipment of gray clay, and I've been. You know what? It's not important. I can make some noses.
Sounds good.
Okay, great. And you want him here for an entire week? How shall we feed him? Just enough to keep him energized, or should we give him like the king's treatment with fruits and exotic meats and naked people for plates?
Probably he could suffice on alcohol alone.
Oh, he's that young. To be that young again, I wish.
I think he has a taste for it.
Okay, so alcohol it is with just enough bread to sort of soak
Some
up.
oats on top.
Yes, some
Like a pony.
Some. Did you say a pony? That's part of the gold package.
All right.
Okay. Great. And please tell me we're going to start tonight.
Absolutely.
No.
I need him to sign a few documents before he is entranced in this journey, and then we can begin.
How fortunate. I also need him to sign a few documents, and we have a room for such things.
All right.
Okay, so please help yourself to a complimentary drink at the bar, and I shall get all the paperwork together, and I will have one of my people come and get to all of your people when it's time to sign documents.
Sounds good.
He gives you a tiny metallic coin with his face on the front, and do you flip it over to see what's on the tails side?
I dare not.
Okay. All right. He places it into your palm.
I put it in my heavily gloved hand.
Yeah.
All right. Shudder at the thought of where it's been.
he says, give that to the bartender, and he'll know exactly what to do.
All right.
Okay, so he teeters off, and you can actually see like he's really excited. Like he was the last time you saw him this excited is when he thought that maybe he might be able to negotiate something with you or Pippi, you especially because he really enjoyed your the nimbleness of your fingers and the sort of
biting of the carrot,
the slender knuckled profile of your open palm. It was. Or did he write that? Maybe he wrote that in his journal and Bessie doesn't know about that yet. Just strike that. Just forget that part. Okay, so you head over to the bar. Kethra, they give you a large glass mug of beer, of just full-on beer.
Okay.
And you get about a quarter of the way through it by the time Vesper comes over to the bar.
Yeah.
Olivier seems completely preoccupied with the 3 or 4 young women now that are that have entwined themselves around him. He is on a large dark blue pillow that is shaped vaguely like a dolphin. He is near the dorsal fin, if that matters to you from a technical perspective. Vesper joins you at the bar.
So I think we can occupy Olivier for about a week without him ever seeing the light of day or anybody finding him.
Okay, well, how do you know people won't be able to find him?
Who would come here?
Willingly.
So the guy sitting next to you guys at the bar is like, I came here.
Aside from that guy.
As he turns away, he says, "You're here, jackass."
Exactly.
Well, I mean, okay. He's so gross. This is really yucky.
This is his perfect place.
This is really yucky. Yeah, okay.
Who that we
Okay,
saw
well, but
Upper
here-
Puddington would...
Okay, here's my question, friend. How much is this gonna cost? Because I've only got 100 gold on me. And how much do we have to pay now? Like
Yeah,
I have more
I
money
can-
in the bank.
I've got a couple hundred, so I can do it.
So we've only how much does this cost? Like
I don't know.
for a
We'll
whole
see.
week?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're a really old elf. I'm gonna believe you and go with it. I just feel like
Well, he's not a really old elf. He's really old, but for an elf, he's
okay.
actually quite
If
young.
we
You're
can't-
really old, comma elf.
Elf. You're really old. Elf.
Okay, so Winky saw Pippi's shirt, thought it was spectacular,
Yeah.
as it always is, and has expressed interest in her playing here.
Yeah.
If we cannot cover it with money, we can surely cover it in trade. Since
Okay.
I do management for talent,
Okay.
we can do this.
Well, okay. Maybe we can. Okay.
You.
Oh, well, I was just thinking.
You were
maybe
saying something?
What if we did? Can we do a deposit? I don't know how these things work.
A layaway
Can we do
plan,
a deposit
possibly?
and then come back and give them the rest? No, I don't know.
We'll see.
Okay.
I like where you're going with this.
Okay.
While you guys are talking, there is a commotion in the center of the room.
It's
And-
not Olivier, is it?
No,
Wait,
Olivier
wait.
is
Okay.
playing some version of Red Rover with two girls' tongues, where he uses his tongue to break
Okay, we need to define commotion.
through. You asked! You said, is it Olivier? No, it's not Olivier. He is occupied. The commotion...
Commotion in this place could mean a lot of things.
Yeah, basically, two bouncers are wading through the throw pillow pit to two people who look like they have begun to have sex. And the bouncers pull them apart. And
Whoa,
they say,
like right there?
Yeah, like right there. Just pull them apart. And they're like, hey, that's not allowed. And the guy says, what are you talking about? And then the one bouncer smiles and says, you have to get a room for that. And then he picks up the guy, and the other bouncer picks up the girl, and all four of them move into a room off of the main room.
Cod pieces and all.
One of the cod pieces falls off during the journey. You do not investigate to see whose it is.
Catherine, look away.
Okay.
Terrible things are happening behind us. You continue drinking.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check, Vesper.
Do you need an adult yet?
Oh, God.
I'm right outside.
Let's say 2.
2?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is away from 1.
You're
which is critically failed.
you try to
I
occupy
can
yourself
handle
with by
That I
writing
can
some
okay.
lyrics for Marriage Schmarriage.
Yes.
But for whatever reason, you can't find anything to rhyme with the word whole, which for whatever other reason is the only word that you can think of right now. All right, so someone comes up and taps you on the shoulder and whispers in your ear, Winky, we'll see you now.
Great.
And they take you off to a side room, which is surprisingly conservative. There's a desk. There are some chairs sitting around the desk. It's very well lit. Winky is sitting in one of the chairs, and there's a few scrolls that have been laid out and inked. When you guys come in, Winky slides a page over to you, and written on it is Flankenstiergen. And he's like, is this the word? I couldn't, the spelling, my Elvish is
Great.
terrible.
Yep.
Okay, great.
That's it.
Okay. He then signs his name at the bottom and then puts quotes around either side of the word, rolls it up, and then puts it inside of a case.
Okay.
It is shaped, it's vaguely this long, and it has a
Well,
knob on the end.
A mushroom.
And it's, well, there are two weights on the other end so that when you set
okay.
it down, it doesn't fall over.
Gotcha. Some tree roots.
Yeah. Along the, I'll call it a shaft. Along the shaft are the words "safe word" carved into it. Okay.
What's this place called again?
This place is called Carnopolis.
Carno.
Winky wanted it to be called Flesh Plethora, but due to some legal constraints, that name was already sort of taken.
I can't
so
remember if
he
it was
was-
like Carnotopia or whatever.
Ooh. You should have been around when Winky was naming this place. Carnotopia is way better.
That's the country that Carnopolis is the capital.
Yeah, Carnopolis, capital of Carnotopia.
That's his overall LLC that owns all of the Carnopolises.
Yeah. Okay. So you look over the contract and roll a die 6 for me.
All right. Two.
2. All right. So the contract stipulates 700 gold as the final price. It covers food expenses, room and board, 5 sex turns, which there's a whole 3-page addendum that explains what a sex turn does. And not like intern, but like sex turn, like turn around, sex turns. You just glancing over it, you get the idea that they basically fill in all the gaps.
Okay.
With a putty of some kind?
Some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting terrible.
It doesn't
Isn't the
specify.
wedding
The
supposed
contract.
to be,
All right.
tomorrow?
So, maybe we could work I could have Pibby play a few shows here.
That
I could
is an
probably
amazing
afford-
idea. However,
What would be more in the range of 200 gold?
well, first of all, 200 doesn't even start the program.
Right. Well,
I mean, at the very least, I need 100 griffins every day just to keep the illusion from popping.
Right. So, in addition to the 200, could we say 5 shows? That would be about 100 gold a show, which is Pippi's normal rate.
Let's make that a separate negotiation. What we're talking about is, of course, a cash first industry.
Right, the 200.
I didn't get where I am today by allowing people to promise me to pay.
Well, no, but
money first.
in services, I imagine you've had plenty of that.
What services?
Pippi playing a show.
That's a separate contract. What other services can Pippi offer us?
She can choreograph her performances.
No dice.
What if we have 300 gold right now? Can we give you 300 gold for 3 days? And then if we're not back with the rest of it, then you can just kick him out?
Without his clothes or not. I don't know.
Well, let's see. 300 for 3
And
days.
his father is rich.
His father is incredibly wealthy.
He is a part of the
Should I
renowned-
contact his father for the rest of the money? Or is this... I mean, how much... I thought this was a very generous gift on your part, Vesper, and I don't...
Right, which is why I'm trying to keep his family out of this.
I see. Okay.
Especially if they come looking for him.
Well, that... So the program is sort of a linear thing. You know, each
Let's
story
start talking about
builds
programs. Let's
on
start
the
talking
previous-
about services.
So you don't want him to be in the program at all?
Well, we would
You
like
just want
a program, but maybe not the program you're thinking.
Vesper.
Oh,
as
Winky.
As one entertainer to another, you know how important it is for people to see our art.
Right.
But fine, if you want me to
And
hold
it's-
him until 300 griffins has run out,
Well,
I can't promise. I mean, his tastes may vary from hour to hour, day to day. For all I know, if we switch over to services rendered, I mean, he may burn through 300 gold by tomorrow morning.
but as an entertainer, you also know it's important to have a diversity
Oh, I have diversity. Sure.
of performances
I have that as well.
lined up.
Can
Or what
I
the crowd
come right
needs.
back? Can I come right back?
I hope you do.
I'm gonna leave for just a second. So I'm gonna go
Goodbye.
Close your eyes. There's things.
And I'm gonna go outside. Arister, how much money you get? And I'm not gonna tell Arister why. You
Vesper?
keep talking.
Why do we need
that
money?
young human is too young for you, I think. You shouldn't be
Why do we need money?
encouraging her to come into places like this.
We need
She
money
is
For
free
what
spirit.
purpose?
to get this
I
guy
can tell.
distracted.
She is
I can tell by the way she
How much?
had
speaks to
many
you.
dealings with the bog witch
400.
that we shall not
400
discuss.
what?
gold. Do you
400
have-
gold pieces?
Yeah, just 400 more. Do you have anything on you?
Not that I would be willing to part with.
Not on him.
Arister.
You guys found him robbed.
That's true.
Did he not have a money pouch with him?
Wrong.
Yeah. What? Okay.
Oh, he did.
What
have
did-
money.
what
Isn't
What
Olivier
did we-
filthy rich? Cannot we
What
extend a line
could
of
we
credit for this
have
sort of thing?
procured from
Well,
Olivier
yeah, but we don't want to know.
on the way over here?
What hit.
One second. Oh, I need to know what's being negotiated outside of Carnopolis.
Yeah, I'd like to know that too. Did we get anything off of him? Like, did he have a bunch of money on him? Something?
Yeah, that giant-
I'm gonna say he
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I'm gonna say he did. Why don't you all roll a die 10, all 5 of
That's it.
All 5.
Ooh.
Sounds
you. Is that a die 10, Amanda? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like a die 12.
that's a die- I play World of Darkness, Sean. The only
Oh,
die
yeah.
I know is the
I
die
forgot.
10.
Pardon me.
10. I rolled a 10.
I got a thing.
A 3, 1,
I
10.
I got a 1.
15, 18.
Oh wait, sorry. ones go in front
All right.
of the zero.
So Olivier has basically 180 gold worth of small gems and coinage on him.
All right.
So that'll bring your current total without any of Arister's input to 480. Is that? Did you say you were carrying 200 and you have 100?
Yeah.
So you're at 480. If you could just get 220 more,
Arister, please.
you could make the 700.
We're
You,
good.
Arister, you would have to go get it. You don't have it on you.
I'm gonna add this to my daily expenses
We're gone, aren't we?
Yeah, you guys are going.
Daily
Cool.
for the mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are actually having a conversation about how nice it is to not be suddenly saddled with hundreds of gold pieces worth of debt.
I don't understand why I'm the only one to come up with the bills.
What do you mean you're the only one to come up with
The
bills?
expense bills.
You're not a victim.
for our work that we're doing.
Oh.
I am doing all the accounting.
Are
Yes.
Yes.
Is the window of this
Although I'm not
office
shocked.
facing
I'm
the
not
street?
shocked that you have to ask.
Who?
I mean, we did all pony up for
Since he's the one
like
negotiating.
paying the guild back.
We did.
Like the rest of us gave like.
you? Yeah, that's why I only have
Right.
like 100
Right.
Well,
hundreds.
let's-
Why do it for half or half?
I gave it that.
Let's see what he comes
I
back
think that was
with.
somewhere around 700.
Right,
maybe
but
you
the
can-
guild's not paying us.
Yeah,
We're
I
getting
paid
paid
900.
directly from the big boss.
Yeah, you guys are currently on what we'll call furlough. You're-
It's an investment.
You still work for Sable Guard, but Sable Guard is not currently able to pay you.
I
You're
would
investing
I would
in
just
this
like
mission, and
to
this
know
mission is
what the bottom line is, so I can add it to our expense account.
The bottom line is so that
How much money are we talking here?
we'll let you
700
kill that one
altogether.
guy.
700 altogether.
yeah.
Very well. That seems somewhat excessive.
It does.
Well, do you
I
want
should have
him to
gone
show
into
up at the
negotiating.
wedding? Well, do you want to go talk to him? You can go talk to him.
Definitely
Although,
not.
I don't think he wants to talk to you.
That's
I
the
would
smartest
like-
thing you
I-
said
I-
this whole game. Definitely not.
I would like to
220
see
gold
if,
griffins.
I would like to see if
Very
I,
well. I shall return shortly.
I would like to see if
All right.
I could persuade,
Yeah.
even though he's going to go get it. I'd
I
like
think
to
okay.
persuade.
So you're gonna go. You're gonna go
Ricky.
get the money.
Yep.
You're gonna come back in and tell tell Vesper that Arister's on his way to go get the rest of the money. Why don't you roll a persuasion check to see if you can't get him to come down on the 700?
Let's see.
No, oh no.
14.
14.
That's not bad.
All right. He says,
With Pippi shows on the table and whatever other
and you say that you can
carnal
guarantee.
bullshit
You
he's
can
got
guarantee
loaded
me.
up.
I do in fact have carnal bullshit that doesn't get as much money as you
Oh
would think
my
it would.
god.
Okay,
What?
exactly.
From the
Star
Carnopolis
power,
of Southern
like
Arragas.
Pippi's,
Yeah.
has no price. Because
Okay, so can you guarantee me 100 gold griffins per Pippi show?
Oh, possibly 150, but I say 100 as the base. And
I'll
increase
tell you what.
in regular business.
I'll tell you what, 500 gold and 2 guaranteed Pippi shows at a venue of my choosing.
All right. Let's drop the schedule.
Great, because I have to tell you, I'm really excited about my program. I want someone else to see it. besides me.
I do.
All right, so he begins scribbling a second contract.
Okay.
Oh, my money's gone.
All right. Well,
Take it out of whatever Harris did.
Arister's going to come back with 220.
Are you going to cheat me? I thought you were a
No,
priestess.
I'm not. I said I'd give 100
So-
gold. I'm going to give 100 gold.
So Vesper, who do you tell Kethra that you negotiated down to 500?
Or
Right.
do you not tell me?
Okay. So
Yeah.
Kethra, you know that the price is now only 500.
Well, I come out with the papers, so I mean, obviously
Zip
she's
papers.
gonna know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then
That's right.
when you show up,
Zip papers.
the good news is the price has been negotiated down, so they won't need all of your 220 after.
They'll just need to 20. Is that where we are? 480?
They were so
Sure.
So Olivier is 180. You're 100
Yep.
and you're 200, Vesper.
I'll do 190 if there's because that gives me a nice even number.
Okay, so 30 gold griffins. The bill for 30 gold griffins is laid at Arister's for his consideration.
I don't know if morally I feel okay about giving this guy such a
Arister, please stop.
horrific
Just
gift.
do it.
You're
Fine, here's your 30 gold pieces.
Thank you. You're the best.
And
All
I take Arister aside and say, listen, I gave him an impossibly hard safe word. So Olivier, or AKA the Lady Beater rapist, will have quite a situation on his hands here.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm sure the doctors won't have enough ointment left over.
Okay.
Given what I know.
So the contracts are signed.
You'll need
The
magic
500 gold
eating.
pieces passes hands. So erase what you need to erase off of your character sheets. And with that, we will, you guys
Break
will
time.
exit Carnopolis with Olivier safely stowed away. Olivier doesn't even notice you guys leaving or anything. He is now fully engaged.
I would also
with-
like to
Needy.
ensure there is there is, what do you call those clauses in contracts where everyone must
Paladin doesn't
remain
know about
anonymous.
Non-disclosure,
your bid.
non-disclosure agreement.
Non-disclosure agreement as to the whereabouts of Olivier, who paid
Oh
for
no!
it.
No! That's part of the standard package
Okay,
for
okay,
the
I
bachelor
wanna
party.
answer.
Is what happens at the bachelor party stays at the bachelor.
Okay,
party.
okay.
No, like that was part of the original contract.
Right, that's boilerplate
Like,
language.
yeah, no one will ever know unless Olivier tells people. No one will ever know that he was here for this amount of time, doing God knows what to God knows who.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and take our 10-minute break. We're 5 minutes over, so let's meet back at 9:05. 9:05.
All right. I'm ready.
For those of you at home, it is our standard 10-minute break. Please feel free to stretch your legs and get new drinks and get maybe do a little urination. I know I kind of feel like I need to.
Bio break, as it were.
Hey Sam and Olive, thanks for joining us.
Not that much.
What type of new phone do you have? And hey Judo Freak, good to see you, man. I was hoping that you would
See if I can
you would
join
tune
you.
in eventually and get in on this show. So
I think I maybe get like half the messages that chat gets for some reason.
yeah. Well, I've got someone named Azshat. I'm pretty sure it's Asshat123, who says it's Sam and Olive.
It is Sam. Hi, Sam.
So
I know Sam.
Hello, Sam.
Sam knows me.
Is it the Sam I think it is?
Yeah.
Is his name so cool that there will
It
be
is.
eventually an NPC named after him?
Mm-hmm.
Sam! Yeah! I'll have to let you know in advance, Sam. I'll get with Amanda and so she can message you when your namesake appears in the game. Oh, good, they're waving. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, well, I'll let you know. I'll let you know so that you can tune in for that episode. I think you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll enjoy it anyway. Okay, so Judo Freak, that is awesome news. Is that where your job is sending you? Or are you moving there for different reasons? Okay, good. All right. That's good stuff. How far away are you now? I didn't think you were... I thought you were only like 3 hours or 4 hours away currently.
You just drink it fast. You just get the album.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, that's...
I would like to give
Yeah.
a shout out to Brant for getting the awesome Christmas present. And
Excellent, Brant.
Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
I hope you're watching, Brant.
Think you may have made Sean's life a little bit harder, if that gives you any pleasure whatsoever.
Well, we're already using some of Xanathar's stuff. All those chaos spells are from Xanathar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Were you thinking about switching colleges? sir?
Well, I'm gonna make a few NPCs like you're wanting, and some of those colleges. But yeah, also the Feywild stuff, which I'm already-
Is that a college?
there are almost every class has a I don't know what you call the entirety of subsections or whatever, but almost every class in Xanathar's has a Feywild component to it.
That is excellent. That will play very heavily into your future story.
Yeah, it's the College of Glamour, which
Your story arc.
is
We should. I can. You and I need to talk. We can figure that out. We can make that happen. I'm sure. We can make that happen. It's going to take some cajoling, though, because I'm sure that the College of Glamour probably relies heavily on a bunch of the spells that are also in Xanathar's Guide, and those spells, as you may or may not know, are already chaotic, and every time you cast chaos magic, then you grow an extra liver, and when you get up to 7 livers, that'll make you make a constitution check.
This is mainly like
Just have the livers.
this is mainly like just you charm the shit out of everything, and there's no reference to the spells that are in the rest of the book. So
Okay.
I think it might work.
Yeah, that's definitely something worth looking into. We can.
But I think
that
my
would
mentor
fit
is
very
going to
nicely.
be College of Whispers. Phineas.
Phineas Backlund is College of Whispers.
Yeah. I think, wouldn't an acting troupe be a good cover for a spy?
Probably.
See, that worked out. So maybe
I
you
have
made
not written that
Sean's
one.
life easier. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to get my hands on a copy of that book, which I will
Sounds
most likely do
like-
tomorrow, so that I can get in there and dig around. That sounds amazing. Okay, well, hello to everyone else. I see that we've got, or at least according to my dashboard, we've got 11 viewers, but only 2 or 3 of you have spoken in chat. So hello to everyone else. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're having a great time. I hope that we are entertaining you.
Somewhat.
For those of you who have just discovered our show, Winky Pinkbottom is a flesh peddler and
Filthy
entrepreneur that was introduced to the rest of the party at Watanga Mining Complex, but who has a rather uncomfortable past with Arister because of a very unfortunate outbreak in Arister's in one of his units that he commanded, where several of his men
Half the whole unit.
became sick. Became sick in ways that are difficult to
Physically ill.
yes. Yeah, very, very, very difficult
Unable
fix.
to stop
Hey,
scratching.
Velizery, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, so we've got Winky Pinkbottom. This is Carnopolis is his brick and mortar establishment in Arragas.
It's the storefront.
Yeah, but he most often, when the weather's nice and there are places to go, he travels with a troupe, with a very large troupe, as a matter of fact,
Flesh fair.
of entertainers. Well, remember they're not all into favors for money. Some of them are legitimate musicians and jugglers
Right,
and sort of street magicians and things of that nature. But yeah, the real money is, comes from developing relationships with complete strangers.
Right.
So,
Yep.
that's
Fostering
good stuff.
some companionship.
Yeah. Oh, companionship for sure. I may have misspoke earlier when I said relationships, because a relationship usually has to last for some amount of time.
We'll just use the more liberal term.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I'm glad I didn't go in.
Yeah, that would have gone very differently. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
There would have been some grapple checks at disadvantage for you.
No, Winky
Yeah.
still loves me.
No, he would have absolutely had his bodyguards escort
Because
you out.
he knows that I'm right
You would have gotten
and that he needs to turn away from his life of sin and iniquity. And
I have a feeling you would have got a cod piece
that if he embraced
knocked
the
into some
paladin,
very odd regions of your body.
yeah.
The
Arister may believe such things, but yeah.
The flying
Winky
fish would have
Pinkbottom
ended up.
seems to be very far away from realizing the error of his ways.
He needs to realize the error.
He's very comfortable. He likes what he does. Other people like what he does for
I mean,
them.
he's pretty much hopeless, to be honest. But
The man has a throne.
But, well, and you made it personal by attacking his hat.
he could at least climb out of the gutter.
You did, in fact, cast the first stone to coin an adage.
I think his only true way out is to go live up in the mountains and be a hermit.
There's
The
your-
mountains are dangerous.
Swear off. Well, so's being a hermit.
The mountain.
That's an
why
awesome
would he
one
leave all the
for
trappings of
Santa.
city life away to go live as a hermit?
Because he wants to repent for all the filthy sins he's gotten away with.
Have you had this conversation? Have
No,
Arister
probably.
and Winky had this conversation?
These are just the things that keep me up at night.
Yeah.
I just remember those McGruff the crime dog like after school special type videos where it'd be like, "Hey there, champ. You know, it might seem cool to run with the wrong crowd every now and then, but you know, life catches up to you."
That's right. Life catches up. That's
In
true.
Arister's mind, that's what's going on. In Winky's mind, this man is just terrorizing
I just assume he's going to die.
rocks
when he
and
Did I hear Sam?
Yep, Sam's right.
Sam.
Hi,
Yep.
Sam!
Sam and Oliver both watching.
Oh.
They waved.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, we
Oliver's
didn't know
a
that
baby.
there was going to be a flesh.
Sam, we
wound.
didn't know.
Oh, Olive is a baby.
Well, no, she's
Is she young enough
she's
to?
5. 5?
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's old enough
Five?
to repeat the words "flesh den."
Yeah, that's.
Don't say
No,
that
that's
then
not-
again.
yeah,
I
let's
won't
not
say. I promise. I won't say flesh
We,
den
we should not be.
again.
We should not be
He's the
into
worst.
corrupting America's youth.
This is true.
So, all right. But the good news is that if she does in fact repeat any words that she's heard tonight, Sam can not only blame it on us, but has actual video footage of us.
I'm sorry, Amber. I'm really sorry, Amber.
So you can just be like, no, watch this YouTube episode and you'll see. Yeah, that's good
I mean, if
stuff.
it's not us, it's Jersey Shore, so
Right, that's right.
whatever. Yeah.
Okay, great. So everyone has returned in the nick of time. So we zip over to Macaria and Liliana. Liliana has wisely and expertly cast locate object spell, which I'm sure lasts an hour, right?
I think
10
so.
minutes, an hour. Either way, it'll be long enough to get you to where you need to be.
Yeah.
You guys come to a building that looks in many respects. 10 minutes? It's fine. 10 minutes is fine.
Okay.
Especially, are you turning into a horse or anything like that and letting Macaria ride you?
I can't.
You can't.
You're out of horse turns.
Well, did I take a short rest?
We'll just. I'll just. Since the map isn't drawn in ink yet, let's just say that Epsilon is within 10 minutes of Carnopolis.
Okay.
City of flesh. All right, so you guys
Or
get
steak.
to a building called Epsilon. It's a guild house. There's not much to it. As guild houses go, it's almost. I mean, it's not as run down and burned up as Sable Guard's guild house, but for the most part, it's a very plain affair. Sort of a stone foundation, low walls, thicker wood around the top. The door is nice. It's a solid wood door with a tiny pane of colored glass in the middle. And there are a few glass windows. Looking into the building, the place is dark.
It's a guild.
Yeah, Epsilon looks like a guild. This is a guild house.
What's this guild?
No idea.
Oh. Okay.
It's a guild of
let's go ask.
flesh.
Welcome to
You thought you
Flesh Palooza.
It's gotta be better than that.
Carnopolis.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
for sure.
let's go say hi. No.
So you knock upon the door. Okay.
I try to guess at a secret knock.
What is the secret knock?
that one's made it to the fantasy universe yet.
Yeah,
I'm sure it has.
You could be the first one.
yeah.
That's right.
That would make it a secret if
Yeah.
no one else knows it. I mean, in the truest form of a secret.
Before it was mainstream.
All right,
okay?
so after a little bit of time, someone comes to the tiny window in the door, and you see them sort of peek out. But it's so dark in the street that you don't think that they can even get a real good look at you. And then you light your hands on fire.
Well, out of here.
Surely won't weird anybody out.
Yeah. So you
Operating
cast
that way.
produce flame onto your hand, and your hand turns into a torch.
I'm just like looking for a title for what this guild is.
You see, it says Epsilon above the door, and there's like a sort of a Greek E, although Greek is not.
It's Sylvan or something.
Yeah, it's a Sylvan
It's
E.
a
Just
frat house.
it's basically some sort of a sigil. It looks vaguely like an E, but it's not quite right. It's more like an M that's been turned on its side.
Any bucks mounting does or
No, there's
Okay.
no there are no pictographs
I want to make sure
on the
they're
door.
not stepping into the lion's den here.
The head or the silhouette of the head sort of flutters near the colored window for a brief moment and then walks away.
Hello.
Is it locked? Can I try just opening the door?
Sure. Roll strength.
I'm not trying to shove the door open.
I know,
just
but
wanna
you're
know if it's
gonna
locked.
I'm assuming that when you try it, if it doesn't immediately turn or whatever, you're gonna try a little harder to see if it's locked or if it's just that your wrist is weak.
It is
Makario's
just that the
wrist
weak.
is not
No.
weak. Just FYI.
But it's not a saving throw, so I would use the proficiency, right?
That's right.
It's
You're
just
not
like
making a saving throw.
15.
15. All right.
Good
so
thing
you-
way to go front dice.
Yeah. So you try the handle on the door, and it is in fact not locked, and the door swings inward
Okay.
if you are to open it.
Oh,
Wait,
cool.
is there still a guy behind it?
Nope. Whoever was peeking through the window has walked off.
Oh, okay, it was a window. All right.
Okay.
Just want to make sure you're not like,
What's in here?
hey, how's it going, and like pushing the
I do,
guy.
in fact, just open the door.
All right. So you throw the door open, and the two of you are standing in the street.
Well, we'll go in if it's unlocked.
Okay. You enter into a very short hallway. There are some pegs on the wall that look like a good place to hang some sort of a cape or a cowl or a jacket or something like that.
I would loathe be parted with my cowl.
Yes. As many heroes are. As many
Or
heroes
a
are.
suit of human flesh.
This way.
Who knows? Whatever. That's whatever you're
Inside
It's only for
the
holidays.
room, the main room seems to be
Buffalo Bill.
very dark, but you can tell that it is being lit by a dying fire. So that the firelight in there is very low, and there doesn't seem to be anyone in the immediate vicinity of the door. So whoever it was that looked through the window has skittered off somewhere.
Okay. And where does she see the sword beam? Like,
Yeah, I
which
know.
way?
The sword is in the main room. Yeah, like you know. I mean, you don't. It's not like silhouetted for you or anything like that. But you know that you are very close to the sword, and if you just come in this room, it'll be somewhere in the room.
Okay.
As I'm walking in that way,
It's
I'm just
dark, so my hand is lit up. If it's like super dark.
Okay. All right. So
I'm gonna be calling, like, I'll just like call out like Jenner as I walk in, like, towards that room.
okay.
Or it's like, oh, Jenna.
No.
And if he still doesn't answer,
No, you're not
oh,
there.
Jenna.
Okay. As you guys come in, you can make out 3 persons sitting in the room. The room, as I said before, is not very well lit. There are 2 women sitting at a table that is shoved up against the wall, and they appear to be drinking. across the room from them is a gentleman with sort of a turban around his head, like cloth wrapped around his head, in a very formal way, and he is wearing robes, and he is sharpening a sword. Like he's basically working on what looks like a rapier, but it's the blade is a little thicker, and you can actually see that there are edges on probably the top 4 inches. That's the part that he's sharpening, and he's poring over an old manual. He looks up at the two of you very briefly. He has darker skin and a very, very wispy goatee that goes down well past his chin. One of the women says, Vencarlo isn't here. Away with you.
I'm looking for my weapon, and I'm sure that it's here.
It's right there.
The two women look at each other, and then they both stand up, and you can see that they are also wearing rapiers. And one of them finishes the rest of her mug and sets it down on the table and says to you, I can assure you no weapon that you own is here. Hold on. I can assure you that no weapon you own is here.
I have a friend here that can actually tell the difference.
Yeah, for real, it's right there.
Okay, so you point over, and there is basically a sword, sort of a rack above the fireplace, and your rapier is literally just sitting right in it. And there's a couple other racks. There's one other sword in the rack, but the other 2 racks are empty. So the woman looks across at it, and then she looks back at you and she says, those swords belong to Jenner. Dang it. Those swords belong to Jenner.
I believe you're mistaken. That one was taken from me, and I will be retrieving it.
Taken by whom?
Jenner.
If Jenner took your sword from you, then it belongs to him.
It's not just really how this works.
Oh, I assure you, this is really how it works.
That's
Gentlemen,
just dumb.
absolutely.
Where are they in relation to the sword?
They are between you and the fireplace is hanging above the sword. I mean, the sword is hanging above the fireplace. The fireplace is huge, and it's hanging. The sword is hanging above the fireplace on basically, it's like a gun rack, but for swords. Both of them have rapiers. One of them has 2 rapiers. The other one has a single rapier. The man in the corner also has a rapier. I mean, you saw as he was coming in his rapier. The woman looks you over a little bit, and she says, "Your rapier's right there." And she points to the one on your hip.
That was my face.
Vampire sneeze. You can get on you.
They're a pair, and they don't like to be separated.
It's a collector set.
Well, it sounds like you may come back tomorrow and take it up with Jenner. I told you he and Vencarlo aren't here. She takes a sip from her beer.
I mean, we made the trip.
The woman who's been doing most of the speaking looks at Liliana, kind of squints into the dark, and I see.
Sorry.
Yes, she doesn't have to squint. It's
That's
flaming
right. Flaming hand. Okay, so she looks over at Liliana and she says, "Well, I apologize for your inconvenience, but what Jenner takes in battle belongs to him. The same is true for all of us."
I would like to roll insight on whether he's actually not there or not.
Okay.
Can I roll too?
Sure.
He's going to be there.
Haha! Let's see. Where's my insight? 22.
You don't think Jenner's here. There's
21.
There's one other. Yeah, you don't think Jenner's here either. There's one door that leads off of this main door, and it looks like it might be some sort of a closet. The rest of the room is pretty much open the way Sable guards guild hall is open, except their room is shorter and more square. There are several places to sit. There's a table in the center that's basically a square table with several chairs around it. And then all around the room, there are some banners, badges, all kinds of what look like it's almost like a trophy room. So you get the sense that a lot of the things that are in here used to belong to other people.
I really
But
like
no,
the
Jenner's not here.
couch setup. We should do this. See how their fireplace isn't next to like wooden.
Isn't
bar?
right on top of the
I knew I should have stood there when they were installing it.
I know.
Yeah.
You would think the little dwarves, they're good at building stuff, you know. Why didn't you redirect them?
The lack of a hole in the wall is probably a good addition.
I guess
The only banners that match is here and there. There are epsilon. There's that epsilon E hanging from different things.
So what kind of guild are you guys?
We're like easy.
That's a good question. Let me think for a second. So the one that's been doing all the speaking says, "We are a group of peers that have gathered to perfect our martial prowess.
What's that mean?
We're really good with rapiers."
Oh, cool. I like your setup. It's pretty nice. I'm Liliana, by the way. Hi.
Hi, Liliana. My name is Falia.
Hi, Falia. So, do we just like come back later? What is it?
so I guess I would put my hand on my rapier
Sure.
and kind of walk towards mine and say, I can either take it with me now, or I can wait for Jenner's return. Here.
All right. So make a perception check. You can make a perception check too.
This one is super rolly.
Yeah,
It's
so-
just like, whoa.
Oh yeah,
It's all the frosting.
I'm not sure how I feel about
It's
that.
so
No,
rounded.
it's like... Okay.
22.
Perception.
22. All right.
Mine is not quite so great. 15.
Okay. When you put your hand on your rapier, both of you notice that immediately Falia and the other woman, their hands also go to their rapiers. But you don't know. What you notice is the guy in the corner has suddenly stopped sharpening his rapier and has set his sharpening stone down on one of the pages of the book. He appears to be reading the book, but you can tell by the way he has shifted his body weight that he is getting ready in case something happens.
It's 3 and 2.
In response to your question, or your ultimatum, Falia says, "You may try either option, but if you are wise, you will wait and take it up with Jenner. As
Alright,
Jenner's
then-
property, none of us are empowered to give it to you."
I kick back in one of the chairs. And I set the note from Jenner down in front of me.
An awkward silence ensues for 45
Yeah. As soon as you sit down, Liliana, you notice the guy in the corner starts sharpening his rapier again. Picks the stone back up and begins sharpening, and he sort of relaxes a little.
I'm just gonna like buzz around and look at the stuff. And be like, where'd you get that?
Yeah. So Falia looks at the other girl, and the other girl just kind of shrugs, and Falia says, "Fine, whatever." And then she whispers something to the other girl, and the two of them grab the table that they're sitting at and noisily, grindingly drag it across the floor so that they're sitting in front of the hearth and the sword is up above them.
Yes.
Sweet. I
And
can
then they
step
sit
onto
down.
this table
Yeah.
and grab it and run now.
What's your-
fire's kinda
what's your
low. You want me to
acrobatics?
top you off?
It's the way we like it.
That's
The guy says that.
Oh, it's all spooky and moody in here.
There's got to be some spring to that table. You know, like get a good.
All right. Well, how
Shove
late
off
are you?
on
How
it.
long are you guys going
I'm just
to
glad I'm
wait
not
there?
here.
Is he gonna be back soon?
I don't want to get poked to death again.
That's true.
Thalia says, Jenna doesn't answer to us.
Well, I'm not saying he does. I just said, do you know if he'll be back soon? Like, did he go do something? Like, run to the store.
Yeah,
That
he
usually
can-
takes like an hour, you know? I know he was, like, poking us, like 2 hours
Oh.
ago, but...
I see.
Her. With
One of
plain things.
the girl who hasn't named herself yet, when she says that Jenna was poking you a few hours ago, you hear her whisper, "Trollop," and then take a sip from her beer. And then Thalia says, "At least it's not Ben Carlo."
What do I have with me? Hold on. I
Us salty duelists guild.
Acid in the face.
no. When she said trollop, I threw a spike at her drink.
A spike.
I have spikes in my bag.
You mean like a
What-
little piton?
What sort of spikes? Is it like a door
I
spike?
have pitons and spikes, so I don't know one of them.
Like
For when we
10
were
spikes?
like cave.
Yeah, like
Maybe
10 spikes. I think.
Oh yeah,
Chance
okay.
spike.
Oh, all right. So you hurl. All right, go ahead.
A metal
Roll,
tent
roll a
spike.
roll a dexterity. It's an improvised weapon, so
Easily a foot long.
yeah, you probably don't get any proficiency to it.
Is that like an insult? I guess so.
Trollop.
It's like I throw a spike in her beer.
13.
13. All right.
Sticks in the
You throw a spike at her beer, and she literally leans back in her chair, and the spike misses her beer mug without even pausing her drink. Like and she leans back, and when she sits forward again, you notice that her rapier is now out of its sheath and just laying across her lap, but her hand is on it. And she continues to swig and then sets it down.
Don't throw things.
Yeah.
They're so excitable in this guild.
mind games left and right.
That's right.
Yeah.
If they were truly tough, they wouldn't even draw their rapier, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, erase that spike since it's now in the
Yeah.
fire.
Now I just have 9 of them.
Did it make the fire brighter?
No, it's metal.
Oh.
You unhinge them a little bit, so that's
It's
cool.
need light
Isn't there a
here.
test or something to become a druid? Like, metal doesn't make fire brighter.
I didn't know if
Yeah,
there was a wooden spike. She said tent spike. It might have been a wooden spike.
It
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be a
It could have been a wooden spike.
Wouldn't that be
Like
just
tent
a
pegs
sharp
are
peg?
wood.
Or a steak?
Well, I mean, if she
Wouldn't it be
threw
a
it-
steak if it's made out of wood?
Okay.
Steaks can also be metal though.
If she threw a rabbit in the
No,
fire,
I
really
don't.
I
I
would
prefer
know.
flesh
But
steaks.
not.
Listen, I don't know much
I
about
would
being a druid,
notice,
so you guys
but
can
I
be
might
right.
not
I don't know.
know.
I don't know.
If you threw an animal in the fire, I would know the burning point.
Yeah, yeah, but metal not so
Oh,
much. Yeah.
whatever.
Metal not so much.
Oh my god,
Um,
so many animals under the table.
I know. I don't know what
Come over here.
Junebug thinks she's accomplishing under there.
I guess I would just drink out of my flask and wait until it is obviously too late. Like, he's obviously not coming back to here.
Okay. Roll a diplomacy.
Diplomacy?
Yeah.
Like charisma? Or
Yeah, is that diplomacy? What's it called?
There's no diplomacy.
There's-
Roll a
Persuasion.
Persuasion. Yep.
She wants mom
Sweet.
to do it, not you.
Well, I'm sorry.
She's trying to get mom's attention, but
10.
mom's rolling dice.
10. All right. You drink from your flask. You wait around. After about an hour, the guy in the corner closes his book. He has already put his rapier away. He gets up and comes over to the two girls.
Dude.
After I've looked at everything, I sit down
A
and
squeaking
rest.
weevil attacks you. You've already heard its deadly cry. Make a saving throw.
Okay, I'm gonna
Whatever
take
your
a
lowest
short
one
rest
is.
during this.
Okay,
So
all right. So you sit down and
Perhaps there
actually
will be
relax.
a squeaking weevil.
Yeah. You guys, you actually sit down and relax. Okay.
Yeah.
He gets
Oh,
up.
that's true. Short rest.
He
Good time for a short rest.
he says, "I don't think you get to take a short rest, Makari. You're on edge.
Am I?
Yes, you're not going to relax and kick your shoes off and rub your arches out and everything. You're trying to be cool and be intimidating and also be ready in case they attack you, right? She doesn't care.
As long as she underhand throws the spike, right?
The most exciting thing that she did tonight was argue with herself over whether a metal spike is actually a wooden stake or not.
Am I really not going to get a short rest in an
No,
hour
you're
of
not.
sitting there?
No, you have to rest. You have to rest. You have to eat food and you have to relax.
I would agree. Yeah,
I'm
it's
munching
intense.
seeds
Yeah, you're-
and berries.
If
And
you're
You have social anxiety disorder too. It's
Plus
just
you're-
I do
crippling.
not.
It's crippling.
I do not.
plus you're probably still. It's probably hard to relax your shoulder blades from the trollop comment because you want to talk back.
Play some cards or something.
No,
Anyway, the guy in the
Throw some
corner
bones.
gets up, closes his book. His rapier is put away. He walks over, tells the two women in an accent that you don't really recognize, although he is speaking common, that Solion's rays come early in the morning, and he bids everyone a good night. And he turns to you both and bids you both a good night. Make a perception check.
Okay, I'm not rolling this one anymore.
What? Oh, Frosty's getting the
12. 15.
Frosty's
Okay.
being-
So you both notice that he is wearing a golden medallion around his neck, like once he gets up and actually faces you. And it is basically a sun with a face in the middle, and the sun's rays look vaguely like a lion's mane. He is a priest of Solion. He bids you goodnight and leaves. The other two women waiting there, as if by giving some unspoken permission when the priest leaves, they both kind of look at each other and then they look over at you and they say, Falia gets up and she says, I'll tell you what. I can't give you Jenner's trophy, but if you were to say, beat me and take it, I would be able to tell Jenner that I was simply overpowered.
Very well.
Care to test me?
I'm always game.
All right. So she, her and the other girl, like slowly and grindily scrape the table out of the way, and then they go over and they move the other table and they move some chairs back and they create like a little space on the floor.
Ooh, fun.
And they say, Falia says, okay, the rules are simple. If you leave this circle, you lose. The first one to draw blood wins. Sound good?
Good.
Okay. She pulls out a rapier. She does some stretches. She pops her neck a couple times.
I be like, okay, high five. You can do this. And I cast guidance on her.
All right.
That's a
Falia looks at you,
That's
and you
noticeable.
see like disappointment just
How
cascade
does she
across
know?
her face because
How
it's
does she know?
magic.
It's a magical spell.
It's a magical spell.
You have to
Say
chant
it.
and hand
Yeah.
wave and do shit like that.
I
No,
can't
you can do subtle things.
Covertly.
It's not totally invisible, but it's subtle. Like there's
Literally,
some
it's
spells
just
that are
touch
just
one
like
willing creature.
waving a little
What,
bit of
what are
fleas.
the
verbal and
components?
somatic.
So you have to do some stuff and
No,
say some
no.
stuff to get the
I
spell.
said you can do this.
Yeah,
And
but it's
I
gotta be
touched
like-
her and high five.
It's
That's
gotta be
how I
like
do my
ancient
guidance.
elven druid cant, and there's lights and stuff. It's magic.
I'm
No.
gonna go ahead and
I don't
say
think that's
Amazing
that extreme, but I
spell.
think that maybe they should
There's-
have them roll perception.
there's
okay?
some
I
sort
mean,
of
it's the
a
argument.
glow or
Sleight of hand
something.
check versus
If that's the
perception.
case,
It's
then
not
I would
like-
have said no.
It's not like 10 hooded robed figures come in and start like forming the
Alright.
Triforce of power.
Like if she's literally just saying like,
If you'll
you
recall,
got this and give me a high five, I'd give her a
Okay,
high five. But
so
like
she-
when I know she's
yeah,
casting it,
you-
then I wouldn't take it.
If you know she's casting the spell, or
Like if it,
if it's obvious, she wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
But if it's like
'Cause
on
I'm
the
not like-
down low and it's like, I'm biting this thistleberry while I go, and then it's like, that's the fucking thing. Like, that's the fucking thing.
I feel like
right?
it's a really good description. Sean.
Right.
I feel
It's
like
like-
that's fair.
Well, but she doesn't have to
It's
bite
not
a thistleberry
so-
because it's
I
not a
don't.
material component.
Yeah.
It's only semantic.
I never have to
She
use
she
my-
like
out of the
draws a
ordinary.
sigil in the sky real quick and spells out the word
Right, it's
Lurgan or
not
whatever.
gang signs that you use magic for, but
I literally
There's hand waving.
thought that we had already established
Right.
this.
Yeah,
in
but
the
I
form of a
pushed-
high five.
But to be fair,
people out of
Julie
the-
already has run around the room going like this.
Right,
Random
right?
hand
Like,
yeah,
signals
I think
might
that
be-
that
The last
Yeah,
couple
who
times
would
I've cast
look
like
at her
guidance, I
any
have to give
different?
some words
Like-
of encouragement and like hug them or like high five them or something like that, and that's it.
And she
Yeah,
can-
but
It's
then
just
they
a cantrip.
but then they have guidance and they know that they've been magically enhanced because they get to decide when to use the dice.
but she's not casting it on those people, so it's not as obvious. It's like they.
Well, what was
have
your
to-
sleight of hand? What was your sleight of hand roll?
7.
They notice.
Okay.
But
All right,
they
my
just
lowest
see
roll
it
was an
like
11,
that.
so they see magical dust or whatever slap. Oh, actually, if you're gonna try to avoid it, why don't you roll a perception as well?
Okay. Nope.
All right, so you high five,
It's
magical.
just some sparks.
But then I would immediately
Sparks.
be like, oh gosh. Like, I would
Yeah,
obviously
alright.
react. So, like,
So
A shiver runs up your
confidence
spine.
boost.
yeah, so Falia is like,
It's just a D4 on a check.
all right.
You don't have to use it.
She pulls out her rapier. She does a little flourish in the sky, and then you see her move into one of the stances that you saw Jenner move into. Roll initiative.
these are both bad. They're both awful.
No.
8.
You gotta uncurse your dice.
Drink more. That works.
Okay.
But the fact you touched it, cursed it, so I don't know what's going
Well,
on.
I mean, now that you've betrayed your other dice.
Alright.
They'll be
and
fine.
then
These,
come
they're
back-
new.
Okay, I know.
They-
But
They're in
your-
timeout.
your
I
old-
have to show them I'm boss.
Your old
Yeah,
dice aren't gonna know.
These.
You should not have used the frosted dice for this
I
duel.
think you can
Um,
just use
I
some
didn't, it was
frosted
the other
hussies-
one.
hussy
I
dice.
see.
The old dice feel vexed now.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They're fine.
I feel like they've been...
They know the deal. They'll be fine.
Okay.
She didn't look sick at all, does she?
All right. So you
You're still hurt.
you get to go first, Makaria.
You're okay then.
Enough for first blood.
You
Yeah.
should cast some more
What?
subtle spells at the
I'm going
feet of
first.
the other fighter.
Well, I would have cast it earlier had I.
Because
Roll
she's
well.
rolling her action, or because you rolled.
Well, you
poorly?
did see her get ready. She flourished her sword, and then she got into the stance that that Jenner was standing in when he initially the first stance when he initially was going to fight
Yeah.
you.
So are we gonna have a thing, or is this all just gonna be kind of?
I don't think it'll last long enough to put it
Okay.
on the map, but if you want to, we can.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, so I just have to knock her out of the area, right?
You either have to knock her out of the area or you have to draw blood. You have to
Okay.
do 1 hit point of damage to her.
Well, I guess I would expend my final superiority die
Okay.
to use a fainting attack,
Okay.
so I get advantage on my next roll.
Okay. Cool. So you actually don't get advantage. Go ahead and just roll a regular attack roll. Good job though on the fainting attack.
Interesting. Sweet.
I saw that.
What'd you roll?
Big money.
What is that? 13.
Okay. She deflects your attack. And then as a reaction, she makes an attack. Armor class 14.
Nope.
Okay. So she says, she kind of gets a little look on her face and she's like, oh, nice feint.
Thank you.
It's your turn again. Okay.
Going for it. Do I have disadvantage then?
You
Is
now
that
have
what you're telling
disadvantage.
me?
Yeah. You have now have
Why?
disadvantage.
Is there a reason that I
Mhm.
am allowed to know about? Like,
Sure.
why would-
It's a regular. She's using the dodge action against you.
Okay. Seriously, I got a natural 20.
What was the other roll?
3.
Okay, that's what you
That's an
get.
8.
All right. All right, so she will use her
Bring it.
reaction to attack you. 24.
Yep.
Okay. That's crap. All right, so I'm going to have her cut you for 3. And then she flicks the blood off of her blade and puts it away and says, better luck tomorrow.
Whoa.
What a bitch.
Okay, see you guys tomorrow.
Sorry, I just said.
Good.
When she goes over to the other girl is like, why did you go easy on her? And she's like, you saw the feint. It was good.
Okay, maybe she's
Okay, I
alright.
guess we're leaving then.
All right, you guys head out. The 2 women sit back down and begin drinking as you leave. Okay.
That was a waste of an evening, but I guess you've got a goal. Let's go see how the boys are doing.
It's all about
From the-
looking on the
from
bright
the-
side
yeah,
of life.
From the 100-year-old
People.
elf. Yay! You have something to do with your day.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just
Your time's
being
not
encouraging.
entirely wasted.
You've got a goal to shoot for. That's always fun.
All right, so you guys.
Short-lived people.
Oh,
doing
I guess.
things.
Did you guys talk about where you were going to meet up after all was said and done?
I'm still sitting at the Carnopolis front door.
Oh yeah. Did you guys?
I
Did
am
you guys
trying to
pay in?
get the invitations and the.
Persuasion check with advantage.
Alright. Pippi. Wedding singer. Ugh.
Cash money.
Let's see. 16.
Dirty 60.
Good job.
Really?
Yeah, he's super ecstatic that you've purchased girls for him and also drink. And Winky Pinkbottom makes a big deal out of like, attention, someone else has started the program. We shall
Yeah.
begin with
Gets
the fruits.
a little derby that hangs
Yeah.
slightly to the side.
No, he's wearing his laurel. When
Oh,
when he's at home base, he's relaxed, bro.
Okay.
He's comfortable.
No, I meant
Um,
I meant Olivier.
Oh yeah, no,
Like
they
he gets a little ceremonial hat.
they pull him out of all of those strapping young lasses have taken most of his clothing off and replaced them with the colored ribbons like the troop wears
Okay.
that are tied in different knots and basically can be strategically tugged so that they fall off. They just come away.
Okay.
And yes, he's got a tiny little birthday boy hat on, or whatever bachelor boy hat on. And he's super psyched that you've done this for him, and he's really sorry about what happened earlier, and like he hopes like bygones can be bygones. And you're like, and you say what? Who do you want you want invitations?
Yeah, I'd like invitations for the party so we can witness your blessed event, and I'd actually like to offer the services of the world-renowned Pippi Stardust to play at your wedding. Since we're kind of friends now, I'd like to hope so at least.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I totally would invite you, but my mom was in charge of the guest list, and I don't have any invitations, but I could put in the good word for you. Like
I'm sure. Let's say I draw up some invitations. You tell me what was on them, and we could work something out. Like you would also, whatever you give the entertainment that arrives at the occasion. I don't know if it's paperwork or whatnot, but
I don't know that stuff. This is my first wedding, man.
all right. Well, I'll work something up and just sign it, and we'll be good.
Okay, great. I don't know what's on the invitations. I mean, I'm pretty sure our family crest is on there somewhere, and
Okay.
probably little scrolls and
Okay.
something flowery. My mom likes flowers a lot, so there's probably like flowers on like on the outside or around the edges.
Yes, sir.
What do you? What I mean, how many invitations do you need? Because I really kind of only like you. I mean, the other people. Like, you're not inviting that girl who threw the axes at me, are you? Like, she can't come. I'm sorry. I'm putting my foot down. She can't come.
No, it's another girl. Much nicer one. She's actually very attractive.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that, but don't you think it's a little uncouth at my wedding? I'll look at it, you know.
Well,
But
we don't want anybody
I
thinking
don't-
that you're running around with riffraff. And,
I don't care about that.
well, I know, but high society and pish posh and all that.
Yeah, pish posh. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna use that.
Nope, you can.
Thank you. So what? So let me write. You got something I can write on? I'm gonna write you. I'm gonna write a note to my mom.
All right. Yes. In fact, I have here one very exclusive. Oh, damn it, these quills. All right.
Yes, this place doesn't look like a place to do a lot of writing. Here, what does it say? Just let me write on it. Just give it here.
It's
Steven.
fine. All right. Let that ink dry a little bit. It's dry now.
All right. So he looks it over.
Excellent, isn't it?
Invitation times 5.
Yes.
No,
Meaning we've got.
No. I don't want you to bring all 5 of your friends. I told you that girl with the axes. No.
No, it's another
Also,
friend.
that other guy with the armor.
Yeah, it's
The
another
one-
guy. I don't know why this is hard to understand. It's Pippi, the other girl, the other guy, the kind of hippie chick, and then myself.
Roll persuasion.
By the way, you left me out of there.
No, you're the other girl. I'm
Oh,
assuming.
the other girl. Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I don't know who the other guy is. I think
19!
he's all right. He's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. The other guy and the other girl, yeah. So he gets a quill and he dips it in the ink, you know, and
I help him find the ink.
he starts scribbling on the invitation. And after a few seconds, you realize that he's scribbling way longer than it would take to just sign it.
Alright.
And then when he gives it back to you,
I made copies. Hold on. Copies taken.
Unseen servant sitting there drafting legal documents all day.
yeah, he's signed it
2 white gloves.
with a note.
Alright.
He's written a note off in the margin.
It says, cool guy coming through.
He hands it back to you. He's like, can't wait to see it. See you tomorrow. Can't wait to see you. Bye,
Excellent.
Vesper.
Woo! Have
Alright.
fun, good sir.
Okay. I will. I can't wait. Can't wait to get started on this program.
Is our invitation for everyone?
Yeah.
Official.
You should read it. You should read it out loud.
It says invitation times 5. Flower, scroll, shield with a star, signed, and
That's his signature. You think?
Olivier.
Yep.
My bros.
Perfect.
Works for me.
I think it
We're
says
totally
mom.
gonna
Do you
These
think
my
that
bros.
that's really
These
gonna
my
get us
bros.
in? I just okay.
What?
So you wanna
Oh,
go
please
scout
school
for-
me in how nobility
I don't-
invites people to
Yes.
formal occasion.
They're keeping Olivier busy. You wanna go
I
scout?
just if someone came to my wedding with a thing like that, I would never.
am going.
Personally,
to
I
kill
can't go,
that
so-
squeaky toy.
June, leave it.
It's-
Hey,
You're a good girl. I know you're having fun.
It-
being
it's set
so
in the
good, but it's so loud.
Hey, we found out where the wedding was, where the mansion is.
Yeah. You guys went out and you figured out that it was in the state, just a little bit north of the city, out in the woods,
How long? Like what? It was like a 20-minute ride, right?
roughly.
Instead of going to meet up with them, we're
It
gonna go
was
scout
15 to
it.
20. 15 to 20.
I
Okay.
remember.
That's very
I-
specific.
Would also like to explain to everybody, I cannot be identified, I guess would be a better way to say it, as noble functions. So I'm sending Pippi in my stead, but fear not, I will be here watching over Olivier to ensure that nobody comes skulking around.
Okay.
That was my squeak, I'm sorry.
I'm nervous.
I had these shoes on that do that from time to time.
You know, my
When I
niece
shift my
actually
weight,
does have
just
shoes like
so.
that. They're pretty great.
Yeah.
And I shift my weight like so. Yes, see,
Daria,
terrible. I need
do
to
you,
see
do
a
you want to
cobbler
pick up the
immediately.
others, or do you just want to go look at it since that was kind of a bust getting your sword back?
Sure. We can do it.
Do we want to check in with them or just go?
Probably check in.
Okay.
May as well. Probably
Let's see if they're still at the hoe house.
Yeah, that's what it says under
Is
Carnopolis.
there like a shop
You got the dough
around
we got
where I
the
could
dough.
just loiter for the hour that we're waiting?
You're just
Most of the other businesses in this section of town are closed at this late hour, but there are a couple of taverns.
I will be hanging out at a tavern
Okay.
because it seems like that legal documents plus waiting in the
Yeah. You find a
Guild
copper
hall.
kettle. You
Yeah.
find a copper kettle.
Perfect.
There's actually 2 or 3 of them in the city. They're sort of like the Sirens Calls, those elven coffee shops that everybody loves. Like
Nice.
Copper Kettle is actually owned by 3 different brothers, and they each have their own copper kettle, and it's like a family business.
Well, I will update the adventure ledger
Good. Yeah.
with price points.
Yes.
and-
Yes. My reputation at the Copper Kettle, dear diary, slightly higher than at Dragon's Teardrop. It's been a good day. Sincerely, Arister. Okay, so you head over to a Copper Kettle and get yourself a mead and probably some like a small loaf of dark rye and just sort of snack and drink while you're waiting. Eventually, Kethra and Vesper catch up to you, and then after a little while, Macaria and Liliana don't show up, so you guys head back to Sable Guard to basically put the rest of your money back in your hidey hole.
Okay.
And when you guys get to Sable Guard, Macaria and Liliana are there because they couldn't find you guys at Carnopolis. So you guys all meet up there. And what is the plan? Are we going to scout this evening, or are you going to wait? Are you going to rest a little bit and then go in the dead of Compline?
I mean, I feel like my character would need to go to bed. Like, we've been up
we've
Yeah.
had a long day.
forever.
That's true.
Yeah.
I
It
feel
did
couple of
get
us have been
into
KO'd.
unconsciousness, yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like, and I haven't had any kind of rest or anything.
So I think if you guys go to bed now,
Can I take like a
like
nap,
right now,
like a power
you guys
nap?
could do. Oh, that would be sweet. Wouldn't it?
Can I
Yeah.
take a power nap?
I think if you guys take a long rest now, like if you guys just bunk out tonight, you guys will be able to get up before prime. So when it's still dark outside, and these things you would know for sure, Vesper. These things don't start at sunrise. Like they're gonna wait till mid morning at the very least to get started. If they're gonna do a day ceremony, most likely it'll be in the afternoon. So if
Well-
you guys get there in the early morning before the sun has even risen,
We questioned him. Did we find out what time the wedding was?
Yeah, he told us.
We did.
yeah, I think he said it was mid afternoon.
Yeah.
We did.
Okay.
So
So we'll go up there before sunrise and take a look.
I would like to start renting the accoutrement that would follow a wedding procession. For entertainment included. I know that might be a little bit, probably buying at a little bit higher than the normal entertainer, but carriage with flowers adorned, probably the pink ones that we saw.
okay, well it's very very late at night, so you won't be able to do that tonight.
Okay. Whenever I can.
Okay. Okay, so
Tomorrow.
the plan is everybody to bunk out at Sable Guard and wake up in the early morn,
Sounds good.
and then scout the event venue
All right.
for Pippi. You guys are gonna see where the stage should go. It should get the best for that angelic singing voice.
Vantage
Does anybody
point.
here not think that Pippi's voice is angelic? Show of hands. Anybody not think that? Okay. Let me roll.
I like it. I think it's pretty good. It's not the best, but it's pretty good.
Scale from 1 to 6. She got about 5.
I can't remember.
About 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6.
Do you
did so much
remember all 14 verses of Rose of Orleans?
She
Yeah.
did.
Textbook?
She nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was like a night.
And she had people.
That's how I
performance.
judge.
She had
I-
people like crying. She had people
Yeah.
holding up candles and like leaning on each other and swaying on each
You know,
other.
there's
and stuff.
there's
And
more than
I
14
believe they're
verses.
called. I believe they're called stanzas.
Oh yeah.
That's
In
a
the
bard word.
biz.
You don't need to worry about it.
In the
Okay.
biz, that's what we call them.
You know, there's many more than 14.
Ah,
14
sure.
is just the, well, shall we say,
She's
the
well-versed.
city version.
Yeah.
The more provincial.
Paladins. Yeah. Paladins only have
Right.
2 songs, and one of them has verses, and the other one has cantos.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the stanza? I've never heard of this. one.
Canticle.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very prog rock, Knights in White Satiny song.
It's
Prog-
it's
prog
definitely
rock?
a ballad.
Like- Progressive rock.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's like Dream Theater's entire
Yeah, yeah.
album.
That's what I imagine.
The
The
entire
Rose
Rose
of
Round.
Orleans.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
A child weeps in the dead.
Well, I do believe we are going to sleep.
Yep. All right. So everyone is going to go
So
to
I
your-
get really mad about Vesper and Arister because they won't shut up, and I throw because I'm trying to go to bed.
roll a dex check.
Oh, wait a minute.
Roll a dex check.
Is this contested?
I got, wait a minute, 13 plus, what's my dex?
I think it should be it's +2, probably +3.
So I got 15.
Okay,
I
great.
got AC 20. You missed me.
Are you rolling at both of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so just roll odd or even. And let them pick. You roll. Let them pick.
Odd.
Before they see it. Yeah.
Miss me with that rock.
It is even.
Okay. Arister, while you and Vesper are talking, a broom clatters out of the darkness and strikes you upon the breastplate, followed quickly by
Go to bed!
yeah. Go to bed.
I also rolled a 17 acrobatics check.
Okay. Yeah. Vesper.
Saw the broom coming.
As he was like, it's a
And in my
progressive rock
matrix.
band about babies who were, and you're like, by the time you register, like, what does he do? The broom is like, oh, bam! All right,
We'll have to tell the
can't
Abbott
laugh.
about this.
dear Abbott, Eugene,
So much sex.
where exactly does physical assault fit in the curriculum for young priestesses? I'm asking for a friend. Yeah. Okay, so what we'll do is we will stop here. Everybody basically conks out at Sable Guard.
Alright.
Bye-bye.
One of you does the trick where you drink a whole bunch of water before you go to sleep. That way you have to wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, and then that's your alarm clock, basically.
Oh,
It's
I
an
mean-
old Millipole trick.
Okay,
They don't
the
volunteer
elves.
to do that.
The elves are just trancing in the corner.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the day's events flashing over their eyelids.
does anybody
Like-
Yeah.
need any additional
Like,
healing?
Your days, your flashes
Probably.
have a lot of flesh that
Can we go
are
meet a fool?
oiled.
Maybe.
A lot of
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Probably
I'm
don't bring
interested.
this.
We don't
You
get
guys.
the whole
I'm
thing.
still, like, I limped here.
Okay, yeah, I can heal as
Why
well.
do you think I
Yeah.
didn't want to go in and do anything?
So you
Before we go to
definitely,
bed,
you guys
let's have
definitely
healing.
should cast
May as
any
well,
of
I'm
your
sure my
healing
guidance is
spells.
gone.
I do have a somewhat of a chest wound.
Okay, I would like to cast 2 healing words to Arister.
I have 12 hit points down.
I just gave you.
That's
Where's my
7
calendar?
and
I'm 9 down if someone wants to. Also
Yeah.
get that.
I'll get you, Makarin.
Let's see. That's
Keep
16.
in mind, audience,
All right.
we do not heal to full over the
And
neck.
the healing
That's
word
right.
is
For those of you who
yeah,
are really
don't
into
accept
5th
it.
edition, I have decided to run the grittier
one of those is the healing word. The others just float around your
option.
head.
So instead of everyone healing
Without
back
a
to
place.
full, they get to roll their hit dice every
5.
time they wake up and add that many
I was
hit
already at
points.
full. He got me.
Oh,
Give it
okay.
to him.
All right, who else is wounded?
5.
Raise your hand if you're wounded still.
It's just us.
Spellcasting okay, so is this my spellcasting modifier plus 5?
Wait, did you just
Yes.
take 5 from
Great.
me?
So you got 7.
Or no?
Right.
I'm full already.
Or no, your spellcasting
You
modifier
don't
is
need
just
mine?
wisdom. That is your
Then I heal
spell
myself
attack
'cause I'm
bonus,
not-
which is
Oh.
your wisdom plus your
Go for it.
proficiency bonus. That's
Oh.
why it's plus 5.
Oh, okay.
So when
My
it,
bad.
so your cure light wounds or whatever is going to be a die 8 plus 3. Your healing word is going to be a die 4 plus 3.
So die 4 plus 3. So
Right.
I lied to you. You got 5.
Okay.
I gave
Okay,
you an extra 2.
that's fine. If I roll a 2 on 2 of my dice, then I would be at full. So
There you go.
Do you still
Okay.
need more? Are you already back?
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Rock.
You can also cast it at a higher level.
Great. Julie needs to scoot into the frame just a little bit. You're like half out. How
Sorry.
many-
I know
Yeah.
Sean is kind of stinky.
Oh,
I can
that's-
smell him from over here.
Yeah, but I'm only kind of stinky.
This
Okay.
is kind of stinky.
And I put on deodorant on this pit.
just
What?
that one.
Well, yeah. I mean, what? I got to
You
conserve.
don't have to
deodorants.
cosplay for the stream.
I am
I
wearing-
imagine it mainly happened in the bordello scene.
I'm wearing.
Where it
I'm
was
wearing
like
deodorant,
you're
but
all
it's my
scooting
Klingon
away
deodorant that I
from-
got for Christmas. So it
I was
smells
trying
like
to pick my spell.
blood wine mixed with the spittle of a tard.
That sounds delicious.
It's all right.
What may I need
It's
for a
intoxicating.
wedding hygiene?
To female Klingons.
Uh,
Okay, so we'll go ahead and stop here, and we'll pick
All right.
up next time with the reconnaissance and possible infiltration of a wedding ceremony. That I'm sure that will
Nothing
fit
is going
nicely.
to go wrong.
Does Liliana have a spell for not mingling? Like,
like so that you don't
unmingling?
have to mingle.
Yeah, like so
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah, isn't that stealth?
It's called
No?
stealth or turn into a ferret.
It's called not being yourself. And
I would like. Could you
try
turn me
not
into
to
a
do that.
ferret?
Hmm?
Could you turn me into a ferret? I'll take that.
It doesn't really work that way.
Not
You like
till
mouse
next
guard.
level.
Alright. Any announcements? You got a link
Yeah.
to your YouTube channel so people can see
Oh, actually, can
previous episodes, including last week where we had a really cool look into the future of what we're going to run into. Would be good. And you can find that at
YouTube / The Bearded Foe.
Mhm.
The Bearded Foe is my actual channel on YouTube, not Bearded Foe. You'll know because it has the same logo. My logo is my face now. So, like Bob Ross, I've taken a page out of Bob Ross's notebook, and so I can never, ever, ever shave this, even if it causes like medical issues. And stuff.
We're still.
And these are the sacrifices that I make for my fans and my
Hopefully,
games.
you never get lice. That's all I'm going to say.
Or chin
Just gonna throw
cancer.
that out there.
No chin cancer.
Well, we're
So
still
gross.
working on dates and times and things for
That was so mean. Lies.
tabletop roundhouse, tabletop roundup.
We are. So just so that everyone is
Right.
clear, next Wednesday is our off Wednesday. So it will not be Arragas City of Dreams. And I have not yet decided if I'm going to Twitch cast anything, any advice column or any chats on next Wednesday. But I will definitely let people know on my channel in the schedule, which I will be updating in the next day or so. So thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. I hope that you had a great time. I know I had a great time, and I speak for Winky Pinkbottom when I say that he had a great time.
His bottom's very pink today.
His bottom is very pink tonight. Yes, it's extremely pink. I hope you guys all had a great time, as much fun as we did anyway. And enjoy the holidays, and please be safe over New Year's. We love all of you, and we want you to come back and watch the show. Okay, so without further ado,
Oh,
we're
wait.
going...
Can I say one thing before we
Yes,
log on?
ma'am. Please
Yes?
do.
Okay, I'm going to do a shameless plug. It is shameless. I'm sorry. But my buddy Duchess, who's got her own channel, just set up a thing in her kitchen. So now she's doing nerd cooking.
What? Duchess, all right.
So I don't know
cool.
when, and I missed the last one she did was Sunday, and I was working, so I didn't get to see it. But it should be pretty awesome. So I just want to
Yes,
throw that out there.
her channel name is Duchess LOL. We all follow her. She
She
has
is in
great
the chat.
content, and she is in the chat. That's right,
Click
Duchess
right
LOL.
on her.
You may take a bow. And yes, if you guys are interested in seeing nerd cooking, which I certainly am, we shall all journey together into the nerd's kitchen.
Can I make a request for
Sure.
for Nerdy Kitchen?
Oh, I don't know.
if she's watching.
She is watching.
I would
She just
like
blushed, so.
a Hobbit second breakfast.
Yes!
yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
Traditional second breakfast. I'm
That's
not
good
sure what
stuff.
that entails,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it's described somewhere.
It's and it's
gotta
gonna
be
be
in one of
good.
those
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
Lore
I'm sure.
books for.
It's okay. Yeah, that was my shame.
Okay, all right, everybody. We're gonna let you go, and we're gonna get to the rest of our evening. So good night, and Mom, if you're still watching, I will see you later.